Alright, a quick review on the old JL Audio W615 made in USA. Not sure who the vendor was, but one of the failure point was not enough epoxy, or not, they didn't spread it around. You can see it's real isolated here. Here it actually split the magnets. I've seen this happen on several old speakers like this. So, but we'll go through it. Here's the specs if you want to pause. So, and then go through that. The coil looks like an 8-layer copper. It's not super tall, but it is very heavy. And with a light cone like this and a soft suspension, it's more of a medium suspension. It's not super soft, but I can see why it would be medium with this heavy copper coil. You don't want to go too light because then you get sag, and on their earlier versions they might have gotten that, and you don't see that until later in the years. Then you go, oh, maybe we should tighten it up, and you go, yeah. So because it only goes from like 25 hertz to 29 hertz, which in the performance area doesn't affect anything. So because you're not playing anything below 30 hertz anyway. So Dennis is in the background though, so he may get noisy. Give me a sec. All right, so he's going to take a break. But let me see. Let me grab the terminals real quick. Oh, the terminals are. I had them over here. They're there. So on these terminals, I don't know if you can see it. They have those little crimp things. So I could reuse them, but I didn't want to, because really mostly they don't have this crimp thing as far as the industry standard. But JL used them, and it looks good. And I think these actually Eminence probably developed these, and then it's just open source, open tool. So, but as far as the woofer goes, it's actually pretty generic. It's make a really good home woofer. This is a plastic insert. This used to be by an American injection company who we know who it is. But what I ended up having Dennis do was just level this, because we don't know how big the replacement spider is going to be. The customer did supply what looks like pretty original parts, which again are just from Nogales. It's from New Way, which is owned by Loudspeaker Components LLC. And then, like I said, let's see, I gave you those are the coil dimensions, and this is the gap dimensions. On that washer, it's approximate, just because I couldn't get in there. So, and then, so what they did was they glued this insert in here, this ABS injection mold insert. And then we're going to go ahead and replace the terminals. Those just use a pop rivet. So here's the old pop rivet if you've never seen one. And this is what a pop rivet looks like. So this just inserts, and then this leg gets pulled out, and it crushes that little aluminum insert into the hole. So like this. And then on the back side it'll look a little ugly. JL doesn't use pop rivets. They use like a machine tool and does this at the factory and everything like that. But and again, JL never really made woofers. I think the only time they made woofers was in the higher end ones, and that was just because it's cheaper if you have the money to invest. Otherwise, you want to outsource it, and then you just flip all the woofers, and then you make profit that way. So I'm going to ask the user if he wants me to replace this ferrite, which I recommend, just because it's really old, and this is now the time to juice it up if you want to put a stronger magnet on it. Now, if he wants original, then don't do that. So it's just going to be a little more difficult in shimming this up. So, but what I'll do is, because I have these separated, I can figure out what the idea of the gap is, and then the OD of the pole. And so I can figure out the shim ahead of time. So that, because you don't want to sit there and try to figure it out and then take it on and off. It's very difficult, because even though these magnets are really old, they're still very powerful. So, and then the little screen on the back, and then a little tiny thing there says 15W6. And this is just a sticker. This is a little Mylar sticker. So you can see this is a, basically it's just a punch. They just punched this piece out. Formed it probably all in one shot. Very cheap to manufacture. So I think it was George at Lord of Bass wanted to actually reproduce this, and I think we have this frame, but you can get this frame from China. This is all Chinese. This is Chinese. The rest of it may be just assembled here. Like I said, this is American because we know the people that have the tooling for it. So, and then just uses a polycone. It's got like a texture on it. This was also used by Kicker. The same texture anyway. I don't know if this cone was. So, but he wanted me to salvage this. This is just Kapton plastic, high temperature plastic. And then this is, looks like CA. It doesn't really look like epoxy. No, this is epoxy on the top. And then they just floated the leads. That's it. So pretty simple, especially for, you know, 90s, early 2000s, before they started making real woofers. But for home theater, this thing is fucking great. But if you're a collector, you know, go for it. Again, I'm not into collecting, but that's me. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you.